Hi, my name is Anderson Masese, and I want to address an important subject that has really gotten me thinking over the last couple of years. It's the subject of the question that many of us have really have had to ask ourselves through school, through the church, through the theological circles. And the question is, does God exist? This question is especially important because there are theories that have been put forward, especially the Darwinism and the idea that humans evolved from a simple single-cell organisms in the oceans, and then they advanced, they became multicellular, they got out of the oceans and went forth and conquered the earth, while doing so at the expense of most of the creation theories that tend to accept the idea that, or support the idea that there is a single creator who created the universe, and humans are an intelligent species that was put here. So I want to advance two arguments. The first one, I've hardly seen anybody really trying to discount Darwinism and try to explain why it might not work. All that they're saying is that the creation theory doesn't work. If you go back in the geography and the history classes, you will learn that at some point around 240 million years ago, the world or the earth was a singular large mass of earth that started splitting up, and then you have the Americas drifting away, Africa drifting away from Europe, Eurasia, those continents splitting up. And then if you look at the continents, it's like they form a mathematical puzzle that if you join them together, they actually look like they can come together and form something that is a singular mass. Like if you bring South America, it looks like it can fit into the West African coast. And then Europe can also plug on top of Africa, and the same thing on the Horn of Africa. Those things look like they're a jigsaw. Now, this argument says that the process of the continent splitting happened 240 million years ago. Now, if you go to the evolution theory, the one that is advanced by Darwinism, and the way that they suppose the organisms, evolved and became what we are today, you realize they are saying that the Homo erectus, for instance, Homo erectus is the immediate predecessor of the Homo sapiens, apparently. That species of the human, or the predecessor of the human being, went extinct around 177,000 years ago. The Homo habilis, which is even an earlier version of the human beings, went extinct around 200,000 years ago. Now, if you're saying that the Homo erectus went extinct 177,000 years ago, and the Earth, split into the various continents 240 million years ago, you'd expect that, for instance, the earlier species, say the Homo habilis, for instance, who inhabited isolated continents like Australia, got to evolve along their own lines. Be seeing an entirely different species in Australia, an entirely different species in Europe, and an entirely different species in the Americas. But that's not happening. We have Homo sapiens sapiens, apparently Homo sapiens sapiens, who have gotten they have the same brain volume, the same intelligence levels, and they are occupying these continents at the same time. It doesn't make sense because the early tools, for instance, that were developed by the Homo erectus and other species were not advanced enough for them to make, say, canoes or ships that could sail from, say, Africa into Australia. So it doesn't make sense for you to have the same species of the human beings across all continents, when the continents supposedly split 240 million years ago, and as late as 170,000 years ago we had the Homo erectus. It doesn't make sense. That's the first argument that I think has really never gotten attention as far as challenging the theory of evolution is concerned. The second argument that I want to front is the duality that dictates the existence of various species in the world. If you look at species and the way they exist, it looks like there is a master designer who designed them to exist in a certain way that is coordinated and balanced. For instance, the big cats such as cheetahs and leopards and lions, they have a brown coat. Now the primary prey are animals such as gazelles, who happen to have a brown coat as well. Now science has shown that the gazelles do not perceive the brown color very well. Instead, they can only make out, it's like their visual receptors replace the brown color with green. So at the end of the day, a gazelle apparently cannot see a lion or a cheetah approaching because these are, the predators get camouflage in the green grass so well, such that the prey confuse them and they cannot see them because they are camouflaged and they think that brown is green. Now it doesn't make sense for you to start arguing that at some point brown predators, brown lions, they started surviving more than other colored lions could have. Yet it's not they could not have evolved to a brown color simply because they needed gazelles not to see them. It looks like there is a master plan here for them to behave like that, such that the gazelle cannot see them, they cannot see the brown, and so that the predators can get their food. In any case, you have other animals such as warthogs, which are perfect, and pigs, which are perfect prey for these predators, but they don't have that problem of perceiving or confusing brown for green or green for brown. So really, it looks like there is a master designer who's holding things and directing how they're going to evolve and how they're going to fit into these ecosystems to bring sustainability. Really, yeah. So those are my arguments. Trying to find a scientific point of view. It's not political in any way. Not charged by some religious convictions. It's just trying to front a scientific or a reasonable way of arguing things out. And try to see really where we are, why we exist here, and really try to try to see why the evolution theory does not hold up so much. Thank you so much for your time.